Introduction on Module 2. The title is Roof Design and Drafting Based on Australian Standards and Codes. Well, in Module 1, you've learned about construction knowledge in Australian residential industry terminology and all the images and videos and people involved, and about what does a set of structural drawings look like, and then about geotechnical report and who's building surveyor, different materials, what are the steel sizes used in Australian residential projects, what are the common timber sizes, timber grades, commercial products, and so on. Now that you have this knowledge, it's the time to start working on projects. As I explained in Module 1 Introduction, throughout the course, you will work on 2 different projects. So in each module, we'll work on one part of the 2 projects. So if you purchase the whole course, throughout the course, you'll be designing the 2 projects step by step with me. So all you need to do is just do what you've learned in that module. Okay, what are you going to learn in Module 2? In Module 2, you're going to learn how to design roof elements and the codes and the standards that you need to use to design the roof elements. Now, designing has its own steps and processes. To make it easy for you, I put all the steps in like a path form, and all you need to do is just follow the steps that you can see. And obviously they are blurred at the moment because it's just an introduction. Then I run you through these steps 3 times. Why do I do that? That's because every time I run you through these steps, the more and more it's going to become solid here, and you don't need to even think about it when you work on a project because it's just there, and you really don't need to even refer to your notes. Okay, so I will run you through the steps 3 times. The first round, just explaining the steps and the codes, the clauses, and all the tips that you need to consider in your design and so on. Then I run you through the steps again, but as we work on the first project. So we design the roof elements in project 1 following the steps, so you know how to use these steps in real life projects. Then the third time, again explaining each step while designing and drafting roof elements. And we'll go through each step obviously, and then we cover project 2. So we'll do the designing and drafting together. So I do the designing and drafting for project 1 and project 2, and you need to do what you see in this module on your own, which is basically following me, shadowing me. So you just have to do what I do. Okay, now as I said in module 1, same. In module 2, you will have on-site videos and photos. So I will get out on site and I just explain all the structural elements, the names and all that you need to know, and it is important to consider in your roof design. So photos and videos are part of this course. I do believe that you really need to visualize something if you want to design it in a practical way. If you don't have an idea how things are built and how things are put together, then how can you provide a practical design? So it is very important, and not only I cover the practical part, but I also go through the codes, the regulations, standards, and all the things you need to consider in your design, so your design will be complying with Australian standards and codes. Now, obviously, when we design something, we need to use some software packages. As you can see, we've got AutoCAD here. I will use AutoCAD for drafting. We have SpaceGASS for analysis, I use it. And then we have, obviously, Australian standards and codes. Everything has to comply with it. And we'll talk about the important clauses throughout the course. So, to make sure that you just don't design blindly and don't use the software packages blindly, just putting numbers there and just getting the output. That's not how you should be using a software package. You should be using it with awareness that what factor should you be playing with to increase the bending capacity and shear capacity and so on. So Structural Toolkit is the designing software package that we'll use, and Structural Toolkit is obviously based on Australian standards and codes. So while we cover the clauses, I mention all the clauses in Structural Toolkit as well. So we basically go step by step, and it's like, okay, this line is for calculating shear capacity, and shear capacity in Structural Toolkit is in this part. And now let's have a look at the clauses in the codes and see what are the clauses, and then you see how everything in the codes matches with what is in a Structural Toolkit, because obviously this software is based on Australian standards and codes. So this way you can build up the trust in the software package, and you can use it with peace of mind that all the clauses, relevant clauses, are considered in the software. And then we have PDF to read the drawings and the codes, and which is a basic software package. And I put some Excel sheets together to classify and to make things basically easy for you. So these Excel sheets are sort of checkpoints that you need to make sure that before you go to the next step, you've done the previous one. So tick, 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 and then you go to the next step. As I said, AutoCAD. I'll be using AutoCAD for structural drafting, but then AutoCAD we need it to read architectural drawings as well as PDF. SpaceGASS, this is the environment of the software. I'll be using SpaceGASS for analysis. Australian standards and codes, obviously everything has to comply with the standards and codes, and we can't just design something and not knowing what are the clauses that you need to consider in your design. So luckily we have Structural Toolkit. It's a perfect software package. You've got all the clauses listed, so everything is exposed, and you see all the formulas. And in module 2 we will design a structural element together manually based on the clauses in the codes, and then we'll design the same element using Structural Toolkit, and you'll see the results are exactly the same. So this way, you will build up the trust in using this software package. So once again, in Module 2, I'll be designing structural elements manually and then comparing the results with a Structural Toolkit design. So as you see here, you've got different sections in Structural Toolkit. You've got wind, analysis, concrete, steel, timber, precast footings, and so on. And then I will cover these sections. I explain the sections briefly, but that's a lot of information here. So I just focus on the ones that you need in order to design a residential project. For instance, if you're designing a residential project, if you have a look at steel connections, portal knee, that's an industrial thing, so you won't need really to use that in standard residential projects. So I will run you through all the tabs that you need to know in order to design a standard residential dwelling based on Australian standards and codes. Then we have the PDF. Obviously, you can read the architectural drawings, and as I said, I put some Excel sheets together to make it easier for you guys. Now, you might ask, well, all these software packages and codes, how can I have access to them? You can book a session and practice with these software packages at any time. It doesn't matter if you're a morning person or not, or if you have night shifts, you can have access to these software packages 24/7. You need to book a session before that, and then throughout that time, the session that you booked, you have access to the software packages. Obviously, after each video, to make sure everything is organized here, I will summarize all the things that you've learned in that video. So, again, same as Module 1, I will have even charts and flow charts and sometimes notes, like sort of digital sticky notes to summarize and just have everything in steps. So you can refer to these when you start working on your projects. After each submodule, you will have some quizzes. It's a perfect opportunity for you to test your knowledge and to make sure that you've learned whatever you needed to learn. And if you haven't, then you can go back to the videos and you can watch them again and make sure that you've learned all the material in that submodule or in that video. Now, when you purchase a module or when you purchase the whole course, you will have access to Learn Video course discussion groups. So it's not just you will get the chance to talk to other students doing the course in different parts of the world. So you can just put the question there, discuss your questions, help others, and others will help you, so you're not just on your own. After each submodule, when each submodule is finished, then all of that is going to be a module. Now, once you're done with a module, then you will receive a digital badge. So when you pass the final test of the specific module, which in this case is module 2, you will receive a digital badge. Not submodule, module. So you need to pass the module, the final test for the module, and you will receive a digital badge as well as a certificate. So a PDF certificate, you can use it for any other purposes, but the good thing about digital badge is that you can put it on your LinkedIn profile. So when recruiters or your potential boss is looking at your profile, they can just click on the badge and they can see the things that you've learned in this course. So you will be given the badge and the certificate when you pass the final test. Okay, so digital badge makes it more available to everyone, so everyone can see what are the courses that you've done, and have you done module 1 or have you done just module 2, or did you do the whole course and what you've learned throughout the whole course. And if you've got the badge, that means you obviously finished the course or the modules successfully. If you purchase the whole course with the internship, again you will get to have access to a platform. Throughout the internship, I will assign different projects for you to be working on and to practice and to use the knowledge that you've learned in this course in real life projects. So throughout the course, 2 projects from the start to the end. I will be designing and you will be just following what you've learned and doing the same thing that I did. Throughout the internship, you will be designing more projects, so you will be practicing more and more and more and more, and you will become a master at designing residential projects. So all these projects are going to be your portfolio in your resume. Residential projects based on Australian standards and codes in your resume. So once you do the internship and the whole course, then you receive a different badge for the whole course and internship. So again, if you just purchase module 2, you will receive a badge for just module 2 if you pass the final test for module 2. If you purchase the whole course, including the internship, you will receive separate a different badge for the whole course. So when they click on the digital badge on your LinkedIn, they can see the material that you've learned is for module 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and also you design you design 2 projects from the start to the end, and that's part of your portfolio. And if you purchase the internship as well, then you will have the internship projects as well. So when you purchase module 2, just a badge for module 2. When you purchase the whole course, a badge for the whole course if you pass the final test for the course and for each module. Now you've got everything you need. You've got the portfolio, everything is going to be categorized, and you've got flowcharts and sticky notes, and everything is just there for you. I will provide all the on-site photos, anything you need to know and consider in your design to provide a practical, cost-effective design, and a design that complies with Australian standards and codes, then when you apply for a job, there's no doubt that you'll get the job. All you need to do is just do the whole course and the internship and do your absolute best, and there's no doubt you'll win.